It's a cross episode, but we are representing On Your Truth Ministries because we have been hiding for the last 3 months, but we are back and in action, and we have so much. When I say so much to catch y'all up on, we have so much to catch you all up on. But we're excited. We're excited to be here. God has been doing some amazing things, not just for Dear Christian Black Girl, but On Your Truth Ministries, everybody as a whole. Like, we've been seeing fruit just pop, 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 pop,
It's
pop.
been fruit on top of fruit, on top of fruit, on top of fruit, on top of fruit.
And
It's
we're
been a
just
lot
in the
happening.
second quarter of the year. So can you just imagine? Can you just imagine what is going to happen before the year ends? I can't even keep up. I didn't even have time to write everything down.
Of course you didn't. Because we didn't need to write things down.
I just been needing the Lord to just give me some just like my own set of index cards in my brain. You know what I mean?
Okay. How's that working?
Not good.
Oh, okay.
It's just like things will come back when I'm talking about it. If I'm talking about it, then I'll be like, oh, and another thing he want me to tell you. And then be like, okay, Tiffany, you talking way too much.
That's funny. But y'all, we are doing a crossover episode on today. And the reason we are doing a crossover episode because y'all know a couple of episodes ago, I kind of sort of lightly recapped how Tiffany set me up with a surprise baby shower in Faith. And I told y'all, I mentioned that there was another person that was also in this baby shower. And y'all, we are all in the same room together. Y'all, we got Anna in the building. Hi,
What's up?
So listen, y'all, I just need to give a disclaimer. I don't know what's going to happen today. The three of us in one room is actually very wild. So I don't know what's going to happen
Not
today.
wild.
It's pretty wild.
Okay,
It's-
well, I'm
it's-
excited for wild.
Me too.
It's a lot of power in this room.
It is a lot of power in this room. It's a lot of anointing in this room. It's just a lot in this room altogether. But yeah, we are going to go in depth about the recovery room retreat because it did something for each of us, something different. Me and Anna got some shared stuff. It's just a lot, so we're just gonna talk about it. That's what's going to happen. But before we get too deep into it, Anna, tell the people about yourself. Who are you? What you about? What you got going on, girl?
Hi everyone. So my name is Anna Love Howard, and I'm currently the founder of the Purge Room with Anna. It's a ministry that God gave me when I was 18 years old, and it's a safe place for men and women to be purged and be sent into their God-given identity. And it's my baby. It's my life. Purging and sending is my apostolic call.
That's good.
Ooh,
She said purge.
purge
Yes.
and
And
send.
sin.
And sent. Just like Isaiah, he said, woe is me, I am an unclean man.
Yeah.
But when God touched his mouth, he said, you know what, God, send me, I'll go. He had the confidence to go after he was purged.
Yes.
Okay.
So, amen. You'll be hearing, stay tuned.
Oh my
We'll be doing some things in 2027.
Yes,
She
I
just,
am.
I feel like the match, like,
Well, I'm sorry. I mean, y'all know how it is. It's like when I get to talking about God, I can't talk about myself without talking about God.
amen.
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 Because my name in itself is Anna, a God-given name.
Yeah.
Many of you may know me as Raven, but let me reintroduce myself. Look close.
Okay.
My name is Anna Love Howard,
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
not Raven.
Mm-hmm.
Tashrena Love.
Mm-hmm.
She gone.
She gone.
Bye bye.
Okay? I want y'all to get that in your spirit. My name is Anna Christina Love Howard. Amen.
Okay.
All right.
So Anna Love Howard, aka Baby Mama, because that's what I call you.
Yes.
I need you to bring your mic closer.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Look at her. She's supposed to be behind the mic.
Listen, I am who I am.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I am who I am. So y'all, we are recapping the recovery room. We thought it was going to be important and just even leading up to today, I feel like the Lord is going to do something that we're not ready for. So I don't know what's going to happen. However it goes is how it goes. Y'all know at Dear Christian Black Girl, we let the Lord do what he want to do anyway. So there's that. So Tiffany Favors,
Yes.
you created the Recovery Room Retreat with the Lord and a lot of help.
Yeah.
And so tell us about it. So I want to know your experience, because before the retreat kicked off, I asked you a question that you could not really answer.
And
Remember?
I'm still never gonna have a full answer for you because
And I'm okay with that.
everything has either been in the spectrum of my mind blowing or just speechless. Because this has been a very different radical season for me, and so to think that what was a 1 day encounter last year, because that was like in the whole thing. I hadn't talked to Anna in a while. So everything has just been communicating, crossing through Facebook and things of that nature. And everybody knows the story. You know, I was sitting in this room. I don't know what I was doing waiting on the client, and I heard the recovery room. And I'm like, yo, I don't know what that is, but I'm not running after it. I'm just going to put it in my notes and I'm going to leave it be. And if God brings it back to me, then I'll bring it back, you know? I was at a birthday party for my son, and then we were at I don't know, the children was outside playing, and I was just sitting there talking to the parents and stuff, and then I just dropped my spirit, have it here. I'm like, what we have it here? Then I asked the young lady, she looked in it, a month later, she said, you can have the thing here. I paid the deposit. Maybe a month before the recovery room, she called me while I was on vacation, and it was actually around this time, spring break, and she was like, you know, the person, he's a HOA president, and he basically said he's having a graduation party for somebody else, so just kick this out of thing. And I said, Lord, you have really taught me how not to chase after things, but you brought this thing to me, and I'm going to let you deal with this. And so one of the things that I had to cast down, because I can have certain encounters and empowerment things in my area, but you know, people be really big on religious stuff, so I didn't want that to affect anything. So then the Lord was like, no, you do this. And one of the reasons too I didn't want to go that route was because I knew I had a bump in the heads with somebody, but when I reached out, guess what, that person wasn't even in charge no more. So it opened the door. The Lord opened the door. We had the one time event. And then that's when I let God do what he did for the first 2 months before I even reached out to Anna. I sent her a voice memo, and she just, I don't even know. I didn't know she was going through certain things. The Lord told me she needed to talk about Hannah, and her topic was the cure. Then there was Misty, the process, and didn't know she was going through a divorce, and all of these things just worked. So we had the one thing that was in May, and then come September, I'm like, we're not even done with the year, and then the Lord is just like, I just kept saying, here, retreat, 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 and then Blue Ridge Mountain, Blue Ridge Mountain. And I'm like, what is going on? And then one day I was listening to YouTube, the deep Bible stories, you know, and said,
Yeah.
hello, this is the Lord. If you ever want to get closer to God, you should do this and you should do that. And this thing was like, how do you know if you're hearing from God? And that thing was piercing and just punching everything in me when it came to this retreat. Then I started going on Airbnb, looking at stuff. And so I text Tia, I think, and I said, I think I'm going to go ahead and do it. And I went forth and I did it. And then that was that. And I booked it, had the first meeting with you all. Then the Lord said, after I hung up the phone with y'all, he said, you're thinking too small. And I said, what? I know how to do 1 day events. I know how to deal with 25 people, but to tell me I'm thinking too small and looking for me to do something else, like, what is it that what is it? So when he said you thinking too small, I had to cancel that house. I booked another house. Then I had to cancel that house. And then he threw that big old castle the lodge in our face.
So we're gonna pause right here because y'all, it was a literal castle. So I got there first. I was the first one to arrive, and I was like, "Well, then, okay." I was like, "Oh, so we're in a literal castle,
Yeah.
okay."
Yeah.
And just driving up, I was like, "This is a lot. This is a lot." Right? It was just one of those type of things where it's like, nah, the Lord said what he said.
Yeah,
Right? He
yeah.
said, gather my daughters. He said, do all of this. And so I'm proud of you because you did it. Because some people don't do it.
God did it. Listen, I have been in the season. I know God has to use somebody to do it. But like but I think in the season that I'm in, I'm just doing everything big scared, crazy faith is on my arm, and so y- so much stuff transpired before that. Everybody in every individual was dealing with their own set of circumstances. But literally 2 weeks before the recovery room, Raymond had a massive heart attack, coded not once but twice. And so even in that, I the stillness and the peace of the Lord was still ruling over my body, but he said you must still go forward regardless of knowing what the outcome was going to be. And so I was just setting myself up for whatever. So that's just that. The Lord opened the door with the host of the home, and like we besties now. You know what I mean? He's him and his wife. They travel. We've had some really good conversations, especially in the faith realm. And on the way driving there to check the house out before the retreat, he was just like, I don't know why I trust you, but I do. And he said we shared so many things. And that was a big thing for me. That let me know that God was for me. That let me know that God had gone before me. That let me know that God was endorsing me, because people don't talk about all of the things that you have to cast down in your mind when you are following God.
Constantly.
Yes.
Constantly.
Following God. The faces I had to ignore, the words, the opinions, everything I had to ignore. And so because I knew how God was flowing the first time for the recovery room one day brunch, because that's when the Lord connected us.
Well, no, we were connected before that.
We were connected.
Oh,
but
when I started
when you did
producing for you. Yeah.
So that
Because
opened
you were
the
supposed
door
to call me.
for podcasts, and it just opened up a door for everything else. But even to know that, everything just smoothly, and I was just in awe because I was excited for every woman to be able to experience something that I know they had never experienced in their life. Just the beauty, the nature, just the experience with coming up, because even our producer behind the screen, y'all can't even see her. Her daughter came, right? Come on, the oily one. And she said she was driving up and the Lord was touching her heart to be baptized, not even knowing what she was walking into. And so knowing that the Lord was doing, we had one lady who was on the bus. They came up before she even knew where she was coming to. She said the Lord told her she needed to sponsor 2 women the next day.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I had to really just sit in that this has nothing to do with me. This is all God. And so now I'm like when you talk about that, all I have is a testimony behind it. My experience was just mind blowing because we got to really experience the supernatural from the wind. You follow what I'm saying? Just from it was just everything from the caterer.
So we gotta talk about the win, because I didn't know that that's how you got on the floor until you told me. Like I knew, like I saw you like on the floor, but I did not know, and I was taking pictures. I did not know how you got there until you told me about the win. I was like, I missed all of that.
I don't know how you did.
I don't know either.
I don't know how you did. All I know is this prophetic gesture, open the door, and then I was standing there. Anna was standing there with my cousin, and then I saw Cherie, and all I know is I heard this. And I started rocking like I was on a cruise ship.
So I saw you rocking. I didn't know what was happening.
All I knew, I was like this.
But can I say, I'm glad I got that photos of you doing that.
Listen.
And here's why. Because a lot of times when, people are the host of the thing or the facilitator of thing, they don't get what they need.
Yeah.
They are so busy in boss mode. They're so busy in serving mode that it doesn't really, a lot of times it doesn't allow for God to do what he wants to do for them. And so when you had your moment, I said, here we go, Lord, let's go. I was very excited.
Yeah.
I was like, let's go. And so when I asked you the question, even though you couldn't answer, I knew the Lord was going to answer. I just didn't know how he was going to do it. Because I'm confident in what he be telling me sometimes. Maybe. A lot of times. But I'm so glad that you got to see and you got to experience that you didn't go home without the Lord coming to see about you in that moment.
Yeah.
That made me happy.
Yeah.
So Anna, hi girl.
Hey.
What was your experience like the first, before we even got to our minds blown, before we even got to that moment, because we're going to talk about that because Tiffany wasn't right. She set us up.
She did. I'm still kind of in the fence a little bit, but I've been giving my heart to God.
Amen. As you should.
I'm in a fence because, I like to call myself the weapon of love, right? In the earth realm. But when the weapon of love gets weaponized with the love of God.
Listen.
I said, God, where we do that at? You told me to be that for people, not for people to be that for me.
Yeah.
Listen.
So I want to start. I don't even want to start at the mountain, if you don't mind. I want to start at the genesis of this thing.
Okay.
Because the season that I was in, y'all, when you asked me to be a part of the recovery room, when I listened to your voice note, the Lord was like, you're going to do it. And I want you to know, when I told God yes, my husband and I was experiencing our second stillborn.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
I'm still bleeding, okay? My womb is still open, but yet the Lord told me that I need to take on an assignment. Now, this was my second stillborn.
Mind you, I knew nothing.
Yes, she knew nothing.
Nothing.
We haven't talked.
Nada at all.
Didn't know anything because we have not talked.
And I didn't even know Anna at this point, so I really knew nothing.
Yeah, so it was a God thing. And I had told God the night before that I was not going forth in ministry anymore. I said, God, how would you want me to give birth and call out destinies out of other people? And I can't even give birth to a child. But you want me to be a spiritual midwife in this realm, but I can't even produce nothing. Who's going to follow me? And I'm barren. But God still told me to do it. And then later on, I found out my assignment was Hannah. I said, God, I know you lying. That's the first time I've read the story of Hannah like so many times. But in that season, when I had to study for that, I threw that Bible across the floor.
Not
Because I said,
Bible.
yeah, I did. I was upset.
did.
It pierced my heart. It broke my heart because I'm like, you really want me to tell these people my business? You want me to give them the cure to what it is that they're dealing with, and yet I can't have a baby and I'm still bleeding out? You want me to be vulnerable in front of people, and I'm just mad, and I'm mad at you. Let's go there. I'm mad at God, but it's amazing how we say we mad at God, but we still obey him.
Of course.
Because even though I was mad at him, y'all, I knew I needed him.
Yeah.
And it's a bad thing to be mad at somebody and you know you need them. Just like me being married. Get on my nerves, but that's my spouse. I need him. You know what I mean? So when you did that, that opened up the door for me. So of course we did that. I told my testimony, and then my baby mama over here, I met her, didn't know she had a ministry, praying for wives who's trying to conceive and all of that.
Because listen, remember when I met you at the recovery room last year, I meet people all the time, but I don't be talking to people. I really be
Yeah.
trying to hide from people because I don't really know you like that. I don't know if I'm gonna like you.
Yeah.
So let me not even just do that. And I got friendship trauma, and so it just be a whole thing. I don't be wanting to talk to people, right? And so the way I got to the recovery room last year was I had met Tiffany at Misty's thing. Missy had a thing the year before, met Tiffany. Tiffany said she wanted podcasting. She wanted my number, gave my number. She never called. Then Tiffany was on a 12-hour prayer that one of my mentors does every year. And so I'm at the 12-hour prayer. I see Tiffany on flyer. I was like, hey, that's Tiffany. Okay, cool. And so after the 12-hour prayer, Tiffany posted a flyer. I was like, hey, Misty. Misty was actually the only reason I was coming.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because I was like, oh, that's Misty. Let me go support, right? Because, you support your friends. Let me show up and support. So I buy my ticket, and then I hear the Lord say, ask her for photography, if she needs photography. I'm like, okay. Okay. And so I inboxed Tiffany, hey, do you need photography? She was like, oh my God, I didn't even think about it. Yes. So I show up, do my thing. We're wrapping up because I'm a servant at heart. I'm helping clean up. But then Anna comes on scene. I said, now I have read the story of Hannah. I ain't never read it like that. I said, now wait a minute, Lord. Wait a minute. And then at this time, I was feeling numb. I was over it.
Y'all are funny.
At this time, I am over the whole baby conversation because I done been prophesied to. Everybody want to prophesy to me because I have a public thing. I was just like, Lord, I'm done. I don't want to do this no more. Like, take it away, take the ministry away, take the desire away. We'll figure something out. I don't care. I'm done. And so the Lord's like, oh, you thought you was done, but you're not really done until I say you done. And so I was like, okay, Lord, whatever. And so I meet Anna, and I'm like, now wait a minute, Lord. What? Because for y'all to know Anna when she's speaking publicly, Anna don't hold nothing back at all. And so she be saying stuff, and I just be like, well, Jesus, okay.
Even my husband and my son was like, I like her. You know what I mean? I could give her. I mean, they was in back there cracking up. They didn't even leave. That was supposed to be my Mother's Day gift, them walking in on us. But
yeah, so I meet Hannah. She does her message, and I feel the Lord saying, connect with her. I'm like, I don't want another woman to connect with, if I'm just being honest, Lord.
I feel it.
Like, she cool and all. She's funny, but I really just don't want, but I was in my obedience stage. And so I tell Anna, hey, let me get your number. I never use her number at all. At all. Until Tiffany was like, yeah, Anna's going to be a speaker at the new retreat. So I was like, okay,
but
cool.
have the nerve to call me out because I didn't use your number for a whole year.
I'm just saying.
Oh my God.
Oh
my God.
I'm just saying. I was, because that was around the time of the first friendship breakup and all that. I was done. I was over. I was like, I don't want no more friends.
Yeah.
Even though I be preaching against that, I was just like, because what are we doing, Lord? I ain't even do nothing this time. Like, what is happening? And so I was done. But the Lord said I wasn't done, so I wasn't done. So I connected with Anna, and went through a whole, after that, you contacted me a couple of months later for a podcast production. Then we started producing On Your Truth. And then you asked me to, revamp your websites and stuff. And then that's how I got on the team, because I was like, Lord, I know these people on this flight. I know Cherie because we have mutual friends in common. I know Misty. I was like, now, Lord, I know what you called me to do, but I feel like I'm out of place in this group. Like, what's happening, Lord? The Lord was like, no, you're right where you need to be. I was like, okay, I trust you, Lord. But you gonna have to make it make sense. And he did, because that's the God we serve. But yeah, so the first time I met Anna, I was just like, this is a lot.
Oh, wow.
It's like, sis is a lot. Love her dearly, but she is a lot. In the best possible way, though. And so I know at the first recovery room, the Lord was really trying to heal my heart. And he did, but I wasn't ready.
Mm-hmm.
I was just like, but why though? Why won't you just let me let it go, Lord? Like, just let me let it go. I don't need to pray for your daughters. Like, they can figure it out on their own. I gotta figure this out on my own. Why can't they?
It's real.
You know, it was one of those type of situations, and I feel like the Lord just gave me a side eye, so I stopped asking that question. Yeah, so that's how I met Anna.
So this is the first time that I heard that story about you. So the Lord was doing something internally in you with the first recovery room.
So
I'm just thinking,
Yeah.
the Lord just told her to come and be a servant to help.
that's what I thought too.
Take pictures. I didn't even know that this
Yeah,
transformation was going on the inside with you.
I was very numb. I was about 3 months into going back and forth with the whole church thing, because you had to help me walk that process out. So I was like 3 months in with the whole church situation. I had went through a friendship breakup for something. Somebody lied on me, and somebody that was supposed to be my best friend believed the lie and didn't even ask me anything. They just stopped talking to me. It was one of those things. So, and then we was trying to have a baby and it wasn't happening, and we was doing all the things right, and I was just like, God, I don't understand my life right now. You can take all of this. I don't care anymore. I like, just leave it alone, Lord. Leave it alone. And so during that season, I was very numb. I was suppressing a lot of things. I was trying to figure out. I had just come off of a season which I literally thought I was losing my mind, because so much was happening and it just didn't make sense. And so I was going through coaching with Coach Cassandra. I was doing a lot at one time. And one of the things I can say about the Lord, when he deals with me, he'll deal with me with the people he places in my life. So a lot of times people ask me, oh, you must have did counseling. No, I just have really good people in my life that are not going to let me sabotage what the Lord has told me to do. And so it was just one of those things. But yeah, I was numb. I was over it.
I didn't know that.
Yes, I was over it. And so when I met
you see how obedience.
Yes.
You see what obedience do.
It always pays off.
This is your first time hearing this too.
Yeah, like I'm over here like, wow, I didn't know all of that.
Yeah.
That's why I felt in my spirit, I was like, we need to talk about the beginning.
Yeah.
Because just imagine you felt that way. How do you think I felt? I felt like you felt, sister to sister.
Times 10.
But I'm a leader in this moment, and God needs me to speak for him. So I'm battling eternally and don't want to disobey God at the same time.
But also, I don't want to do this, Lord.
Yeah. So, and I told y'all, I think I probably told y'all that like 50, 11 times when I spoke, like, I don't want to do this.
You did say that a lot.
Yeah. And like my husband, even though men weren't allowed, he came because he knew how vulnerable, that I would be to talk about that, because this last miscarriage almost took my life. I almost died giving birth. So it hit different even in my marriage. Like my husband could have lost his wife, and my son could have lost his mother.
Yeah.
So it was very deep. But I'm glad I obeyed God, because now, a couple of months later, we going to the mountain. And even with the mountain, y'all, I didn't even want to do that.
So I will say I was excited about the mountain because I had come out of the numb season, kind of, sort of. I think I was still pretty numb and didn't realize I was still numb, because you know how you just be living life, and the Lord was like, "Oh, you living life all right, but you got some stuff you need to deal with, man." Like it was one of those situations. But I had dealt with the friendship stuff. I had dealt with the church thing, and I think that I was just at a place where I just wanted God's daughters to get what they needed, because every time I would pray, because the Lord had me praying about the retreat, I was like, this is different, Lord, because usually I'm not on the team. Usually I'm an attendee, I'm just doing the thing. And so with being having the opportunity to be close with the planning and stuff, I got to see a lot spiritually and naturally. And so every time I would pray about the retreat, I just felt like we not gonna leave the same. Like something is about to shake in these people mountains. I don't know, and it did. Sure did. Because God is faithful nonetheless, regardless of how we feel, regardless of what we got going on. God's like, I'm gonna be faithful regardless. now you can be in on this faithfulness or not, but I'm gonna be faithful regardless. And so just getting to the mountain, because I didn't even know that we had changed houses until like 2 weeks before, because I don't remember us talking about it. I don't know if we talked about it or not. Then you was like, yeah, the Lord said that we were thinking too small, so we got a new house. I was like, wait, we got a new house? Where we going?
Yeah.
And so it was
was in a whole another state too.
yeah.
Because I was kind of, because you know how when you just so when you have gotten things wrong so much with your journey with God, you don't want to take the chance to get anything wrong. So I know I knew I was here in Blue Ridge Mountain, but because the first couple of houses were in Blue Ridge Mountains, Georgia, I thought it needed to be Blue Ridge Mountain, Georgia. And so I was just focused on that. And then one day I was just in prayer and I'm just like, Lord, I don't want to get this wrong because it's not in Georgia. And he was like, Tiffany, it's the territory that I've given you access to. It's the region that I want you to be a part of. And so when I began to do research and I said, you know, I put the Franklin, North Carolina in the Google, and it said that Franklin, North Carolina was in the heart of Blue Ridge Mountain. And when you go to the castle, Blue Ridge is right in
It's
front
right
of
there.
it.
Yep.
And so when I was just going back and forth with the Lord that day, Tia, Miss Honey, she was at school, and then she didn't know what was going on in my head. And she sent me this picture of one of the classmates, because they put the projects outside of the classroom door. And it was a picture, and it says Blue Ridge Mountains. And it says something about the region.
Oh, wow.
And then the Blue Ridge was in On Your Truth's colors, On Your Truth or logo colors.
Yeah.
Because you know I like colors. So the blue was in like a green, and then the L was in yellow. And so I was just like, oh my God, Lord, all right, it's the region. And so that was the first thing that said the region. So I came to myself and I said, okay, Lord, I am on the track that you want me to be on. And so even with the assignments, I didn't know that the Lord was just like, he was like, Anna needs to testify. She needs to testify. I didn't know what that looked like. You know, I knew, and I'm just like, okay, I'm just going to give the assignments, and Lord, you do the downloading, you do the bidding. And your yes just did that. So I don't know.
Yeah, like I said, I didn't want to do it, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because
Wait, you didn't want to do the retreat?
no, I did not.
Oh, okay.
No, let's be clear. I did not want to do the retreat. Okay, and it's not because this is my girl, and I love God, but I personally was wrestling with it because I'm gonna be 100% transparent in this moment, and I feel like a lot of people will feel me when I say this. I didn't want to take on the assignment because I thought the devil was going to make a mockery of my miracle.
Pull your microphone up just a little bit.
I had
Thank you.
to
I'm going to
agree
say
with
that
one.
again.
Yes, say that again.
I thought the enemy was going to make a mockery of my miracle.
Jesus.
So 6 months after the first recovery room, I got a positive pregnancy test. So was I excited? Of course, but scared to death. So I was like, I ain't telling nobody I'm pregnant. I ain't saying nothing. Because God, you gonna have to prove to me that I'm gonna go full term. Like you gonna have to prove to me. Because too many losses. And this was the first time that we didn't actually try. We didn't get on the calendar and see when, come on, babe, we got to do what we do. You know what I'm saying? Got to go worship. Come on. You know what I'm saying? It's worship night.
It's worship night.
Okay. It's not praise, but worship. Okay. It's a difference. Come on, girl. It's a difference. We got to go worship in spirit and in truth. Amen. So that worship night was unexpected. Okay. Because I was like, hold up, I haven't had a cycle. I was like, I'm pregnant. So I found this all out after Thanksgiving, that I'm pregnant. And then,
Before the new year.
Before the new year, 6 months after I had to tell my business at the retreat. I'm sitting up here bleeding still and having to tell these people that I lost baby and how they couldn't give up and all of those good stuff.
Mm.
And yet my obedience opened my womb.
Wait a minute. Hold up.
See, there you go.
Hold up. What did you just say?
My obedience opened my womb.
Okay, Anna, I see what you're doing today. All right.
I'm not doing anything, sister. What are you talking
Man,
about?
bye. Goodbye.
Anything. I'm just saying
I
the
hope
truth.
y'all taking notes.
So
Listen.
that's what happened, and I did not want to go to the retreat, especially when my sister Tiffany gonna tell me, God just wants you to testify. You got to know Tiffany. I said, oh my gosh, like really? You really want me to tell my business? That's the only testimony that I could think of, and it's not even a complete. It's not even a completed testimony. Like, you want me to have faith for a testimony that has not even been birthed yet.
Sheesh.
And you got to understand, during my pregnancy, all the things that I went through in my previous pregnancy, the bleeding episodes and the cramping and all of that stuff reminded me of my miscarriages, but yet God keeps telling me you're going to give birth.
Sheesh.
And I know many of you have probably felt that. Like, it looks like the season is going to repeat because it's the same thing. But it was a different outcome this time. I'm currently 23 weeks pregnant.
Hallelujah.
Yes. My little Kingston. Praise him, sis.
Glory to
Okay.
23 weeks. I'm having a son, and I'm very excited about it, but I had to tell the visionary. Sis, I told her, I told Misty, and I told my girl Shatina, because those are the only people outside of my husband that knew. So that also just to show how much I love you guys, and how having people in your life that you can be safe and vulnerable with. It's good to be in a space with people where you can be anointed, but also be human.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
And in that moment, I needed my sisters. I'm like, y'all, I'm pregnant. And I had to tell them that, and I'm scared and all these other things. And I remember crying that night after I told them. I was just like, oh my God. When I start telling people, it's going to be real.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it's going to be real. God is going to make me believe in, like, those group of women before I met everyone else. Like, I knew that they were going to be like, in the Bible, if I needed to get to see Jesus through the roof, they gonna throw me through that roof.
Yeah.
Like, I knew they were gonna be that for me. And I knew my husband, importantly, trusted them with me. So, I know, don't cry. But I feel it. But it's a real thing. So I did not want to obey God. I did not. So I'm going to the mountain, hiding a pregnancy, arguing with God on my way up the mountain. Like, you really want me to testify about this? There's a lot of other things that I could testify about, but you want me to talk about this baby. So when I went to the mountain, like, the peace of God, when I say the power of God, as I was going up the mountain, it overwhelmed me. And I just knew that I could breathe, that I was safe to be able to testify. And the wind of God, I want to go back to the wind of God, because I want you to understand how significant it was for me. So that darn prophetess Sean, again, pregnant, I said, you know what? During prayer, I'm just going to leave my door open, and I'm going to rest, because I felt like my body needed rest. But she was down there praying. I was on the phone with my husband. I said, I gotta go. I said, I got to get dressed, because when I say that sound of intercession, it stirred me.
You talking about morning prayer?
Yes.
With Cherie?
It was Sean's turn.
It was,
Because
yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
that
yeah,
part.
okay.
she had, so Anna had texted and said she was going to go rest.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, because I just, I was listening to my body. I was like, I'm a rest. I was on the phone with my husband. I was like, I gotta go, because that's one thing that stirred the prophet of God in me. Pure intercession. Yeah. So my belly, boo, boo, boo. I was like, all right, I'm getting dressed. I tear up, take a shower. I'm going down here. I got my pressure. I sat in a chair. You can ask them. I sat in a chair. I just rocked.
Yeah, you was rocking.
I was
like,
rocking.
Is she okay?
And I know that. I was rocking.
It's okay.
I was rocking, okay, because my hands was on fire and just everything. And I'm just like, calm down. House the glory, Anna. House the glory. Because, it's decency and order.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Decency and order. I'm like, I'm just a speaker. I ain't the visionary. I can't be going and popping people. You listen what I'm saying? Some of y'all out there, all right? You ain't the visionary. But anyway, so we got to the part. And I just started speaking in tongues. I was sitting for, I was just speaking in tongues. And there was a prophetic utterance that came out of me. And all I said was wind of God. Not knowing somebody done opened the door or none of that. I got my eyes closed. I'm on the floor. I heard wind of God. And next thing you know, that wind blew in that room. It scared me because I said, oh, I got a little power. Nah, for real, like not in area, because we say we're supposed to walk with miracle signs and wonders.
Yeah.
So to actually experience, I was like, okay, Anna, Elijah, you know what I'm saying? Not in arrogance, but you gotta think I was in a season where I was barren. I didn't think God listened to me anymore.
Yeah.
I was so disconnected from my mental because of my brokenness and my humanity.
Yeah.
So I didn't believe that God still could operate through me or anything. So I just want you to understand that moment with me opening my mouth in faith that God listens to me, rebirthed me back into the prophetic and the apostolic. Because I wasn't doing nothing for God anymore. So after that happened, and then, you my sister. You had a need, so I got on my knees, praying. Everybody, I don't care. Put a pillow behind me. We got to do this work. I got to help my sister. God is trying to communicate and give something to my sister. So that's how all of that happened. And again, God's protocol. It wasn't even my time to speak.
It sure wasn't.
It wasn't.
It sure
So when that happened, I end up telling my testimony about being pregnant. And another thing, that's why I'm in offense, because let me tell you something. I'm a prophet. God's supposed to tell me stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Us prophets, we get a little arrogant and we think God's supposed to tell us everything, but guess what? He don't, because if he didn't tell Jesus when he's coming back, what makes you think you know everything?
Come on.
I just had to say that.
Not Shatina over there. Look, her nose like. Mm-hmm.
She like, yes.
She
Like,
just
yes.
I had to learn that the hard way because, we hear the voice of God. We just think we supposed to know everything.
Yeah.
But I felt like I needed to know because of my protection, because it was still a part of me that was broken. I'm not currently in a church home. A lot of people that I thought was friends are not friends. And I've always loved Tiffany, but, life, and we just hadn't talked. It ain't because we fell out. We just been lifing.
Yeah.
So I was just like, I knew someone right in my spirit, because when I told my testimony that I was having a boy, the team doing all this hollering and stuff.
So let me interject you right there.
So what's up with that?
So some stuff made sense while we were sitting in the front, because, like I said, the day before Thursday, when most of the team got there, Cherie and her friend pulled up, and I knew Cherie had been sick for like months, so I was like, let me help her get her bags. Child, Cherie slammed that door so fast. I was like, sis, I just wanted to help. She was like, nah, I'm going to the house. I was like, well, dang.
Y'all, they getting to the good stuff. They
I
don't.
was like, well, what did I do?
While they
And
was doing all
so-
this talking, they didn't know that the Lord, before the mountain, had told me to throw a surprise baby shower for both of them, for Jerry and for Anna. And so, okay, so that's why you couldn't look in the car.
That's why,
and
that's
you
why she
just-
slammed the door on me. And
Yeah,
I was just
so-
like, well, dang, sis, my bad.
I didn't hear that because I was too busy on the floor.
Yeah.
So what you heard?
Because when I was, after I got up, we finished with you, God doing his thing. I got up, started talking my testimony. Sean, oh my God, I knew it. I knew it's our boy. And then Cherie doing this and this. And the team is just kikiing a little bit too much for me. And I was just like, what in the joy of the Lord is this? Well, I didn't get the memo of the joy. Like, what is y'all so happy for?
Because the Lord told me to do an exercise with them. I did not tell them no names of who it was. And I told them I was not going to give any gender, no nothing. They needed to seek God. The only thing they were supposed to do was buy 2 outfits, one for each person. You ask the Lord, boy, girl, you're going to buy diapers, you're going to buy and wipes, and I'll get the car seats. And that was that. And so the fact that they did that exercise and prayed and asked God the who, the what, the when, the where, the how, and asked for colors, schemes, and they went over beyond
They
what
did.
I
No,
did.
no, but listen. So I gotta be honest. I haven't even looked through all my stuff because it's sitting on my floor very neatly. It's very pretty. Because when I got home after my husband was like, "Girl, what were y'all doing in the mountains?" The man of God was confused. He was speechless, and my husband, like with me, he be talking, so he was very speechless. He was like, what is this? I was like, so what had happened was they threw me a baby shower in faith. He was like, okay. And so we get all the stuff. I don't even know what's in my car when I get home.
Yeah.
But we get all the stuff. We get it downstairs. He goes through it. I check out at that point because I'm like, this is overwhelming. I just got home. I don't know what to feel. I don't know how to feel. I just don't know. So I left the stuff in the bags. The stuff is still in the bags. I did go through some of it. And here's how I know the Lord was speaking, because there is one gift. I don't know who got it. Whoever got it, thank you. It's a Winnie the Pooh, some kind of cover blanket looking thingy, right? And then because when you told me, hey, we didn't tell them gender or anything, but I got all girl stuff, I was like, now, Lord,
Yeah.
what are you doing?
Yeah.
And so when I get home, but you know, cause you can kind of be like, okay, that was just coincidence. It is what it is, right? You kind of talk yourself out of it. So I get home. It was only 2 weeks ago that I found this Winnie the Pooh thing, cause I needed to take a picture of the stuff, and I was like, oh, Winnie the Pooh. Nobody knows that I love Winnie the Pooh. Nobody knew that.
Oh wow.
And I was like, okay, Lord, you funny. This what we doing?
Yeah, he's hilarious.
So when you heard the kiki da 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 da,
Yeah.
what you thought?
I had to keep preaching the word of gospel. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had to get out my flesh for a minute and continue with the assignment.
Because you was mad, you didn't know what was going on.
I was mad at I'm gonna tell you about the part where I got mad at, but it was brewing in my spirit. You know what I'm saying? Doing it because I said, hold on, it's some slick stuff going on in this atmosphere.
Like, cause what are y'all doing?
Cause what is this? So y'all call me up there. Of course, I'm ugly crying, you know, with the baby shower and all this other stuff. But I'm gonna tell you how prophetic it was for multiple things, for healing for me. Not just because it's deeper than just the baby. Me carrying Kingston, my little boo boo. It's more than just birthing God's vessel in the earth realm and me having the privilege of raising him in the way that the Lord would have me to raise him, that's fit for his mantle, and for God to choose me to be his mother. But it also healed me, the woman, with friendship. When I had my first son, Tylen, he would be 15 in May. I was a single mom, very toxic relationship. I had a baby shower with family, but you know how people do things out of obligation. You know what I'm saying? I didn't really feel loved, and plus I was out of wedlock. You know the judgment. Why are we celebrating sin and you know all of that?
Yeah.
So I didn't enjoy my baby shower at all.
No.
I didn't. Like, I'm gonna be honest
gosh.
with you.
Yeah.
So that alone, just for y'all doing that, healed my heart from even being pregnant with being single when I was a single mother. And then it healed my heart to know that I really have people that love me. And what's so beautiful about it, Sean and a lot of the other people, they just met me. Some of them haven't even met me before, but yet trusted Tiffany enough and trusted God enough when they prayed about it to find me, to love me, to allow God to love me through them. That's beautiful, me. And I've struggled my whole life with people that know me that wouldn't do nothing like that for me. That's claimed, sis, you my friend, but I don't hear from you. But yet there are strangers who come to bless me and my unborn child. it healed a part of me. Like I said, the weapon of love got weaponized. And that's why I was in offense. Because I was not expecting that. And I think, Tiffany, you can agree when I say this, as leaders, we don't expect anything with gatherings.
yeah,
You know
I
what
don't
I'm saying?
expect
Like when I
anything.
did this, I wasn't expecting God to do anything for me.
Yeah.
My expectation was on the people in the room.
Yeah. Yeah.
So for God to even think about me, that was such a healing. It healed me. It healed Anna because I've never had that. So I will be having a baby shower because, heal. And it's because of my friend's obedience and loving me. And when I say God will send you people to love the hell out of you, he literally will. Because that's what happened to me on the mountain.
Literally.
Love squeezed the hell out of me, and I'm still being squeezed because that's why I'm still in offense.
So let's go back a little bit. So let's just set up how we figured out we was at a baby shower for us and didn't know it. Because so y'all picture this. It's the end of the retreat. Tiffany done preached. We done spoken tongues all weekend. We done been on the floor all weekend. We done cried all weekend. We done got what we needed literally all weekend. We done ate good all weekend. We're wrapping up. Tiffany's like, okay, guys, that's it. And so I still have my camera in my hand. My camera's in my hand because I took pictures the whole weekend. It was literally 1,700 pictures from that weekend. And so I have my camera in my hand. Tiffany's like, okay, guys, we're about to wrap up and we're about to go, da-da-da. Then she goes, Jerry, put your camera down. Now, why would I do that, Tiffany? Why do I need to put my camera down? What are you doing? And so I put my camera down. Then she says, Anna, you and Jerry come and sit up front. That's how I knew it was to set up. Because I don't be sitting at the front. I don't be sitting at the front like that. And I'm like, well, this is weird. What's happening? And so, y'all, they place us front and center. And if you know anything about me, I need a heads up if I'm going to be front and center so that I can compose myself.
My whole head the whole time was like this.
So I
The
can't.
whole time I had. Look, Jerry, you okay? You don't have nothing to say. I'm just in utterly disbelief right now.
Oh my God. So we're sitting at the front of the house, right? And Tiffany tells a story about how the Lord told her to throw us a baby shower.
Let's stop. Okay, neither one of you all knew, but before the fact that the Lord told Jerry to do a 7-day prayer.
Yes. It was 2 weeks before, right? Like 2 or 3 weeks before.
And I was laughing so hard because Jerry had Anna on her prayer
I
thing,
sure did. Yeah.
and Anna didn't even tell Jerry that
Nope, I did not
she was
know.
expecting. And I'm like, Lord, you just doing a whole lot of stuff. They don't
Just-
even know that they about to be sitting with each other for real.
Did not know at all. So yeah, the Lord had me to do a 7-day prayer for women dealing with infertility. And Anna was one of those people. And when I was going through what we were going to pray about each day, because the Lord gave me topics, I was just like, okay, whatever, And then retreat comes, and then they throw us a baby shower. Now, I just need y'all to picture this real quick. Tiffany tells me to put my camera down. She sits 2 chairs front and center, tells me and Anna, hey, the Lord told me to throw y'all a baby shower in faith. Now, at the mention of baby shower, I'm losing it internally. Like, not outwardly, but internally, I'm like, God, I know you lying. I know you lying,
And then
God.
it was in front of all the ladies.
It was in front of everybody.
All the nobody. First, the retreat was supposed to be over at 10. Okay.
It was like 11:30
It
by
was
this
going
time.
into 11 or 12 o'clock hour. But see, okay, because the Lord had gave me specific instructions to give words to the team members after everything. But when Anna had prayed over Jerry, while I was laying on the floor, I heard the words that Anna was giving to Jerry on the day before. And then the Lord was like, it's public, that transfer that happened.
Yes.
Y'all didn't even know what was going on, but the Lord wanted every woman in there to watch God work, because I don't want to call no dates, no names, no nothing. We don't know when we worship gonna happen with you and you be. You know what I mean? We don't know that. Okay, we don't know that. But the Lord wanted all of those ladies in that room to be a part of what's to come. And that's
Mhm.
that because
And I was
because
not ready
once
for
you
that.
once you pop up, I'm telling you, everybody gonna fall on the floor. Okay.
I know I am.
Listen, it's gonna be a thing. But yeah, so we're front and center. Tiffany's like, yeah, the Lord told me to throw y'all a baby shower in faith. Now, up until this point, Tiffany had been saying that she needed to talk to just the speakers and the volunteers. And so Tiffany was like, well, I was going to do this then, but the Lord wants to make a demonstration. I was like, Lord, you don't have to do a demonstration, though. You really don't have to do that. Because, like I said, I was numb again. And this time I was numb. And I was just like, it might not happen. I might have got it wrong. I might have
Yeah.
heard wrong. I don't know. It could have
Yeah.
been pizza. I don't know.
Mhm.
And so I was in one of those things. And so Tiffany is saying, hey, we threw y'all a baby shower. The team didn't know who the people were, but I just told them to buy gifts. I didn't even tell them a gender. And so they placed all this pink stuff in front of me. And I'm like, God, I know you lying.
Everybody had pink.
And when I see the pink stuff, I just start bawling. Here's why. The Lord has given me and my husband visions and dreams of our daughter. We know her name. I know her spiritual gifts. It's the whole thing, right? And so I'm seeing all this pink stuff. I'm like, I know you lying. Ain't no way you set me up like this. Lord, what is happening, right? And so I'm literally, as Tiffany said, this is my face the entire time. Because I'm just like, I don't know what's happening.
Mhm.
How did I get here, right? And so, to piggyback off of what Anna said, that whole thing, it really did heal my heart in the areas of sisterhood and friendship. Because like I said, it's been interesting out in these streets. Because when you leave certain organizations, communication don't be what it needs to be. That's all I'm going to say about that. And then, dealing with people that say that they're going to be there and they're not actually there. Dealing with people that say, oh, you can call me anytime, but when you call, it go to voicemail and don't nobody call you back. It's weird out in these streets, Christian friend streets, okay? It is weird. And so the last 3 years have been very interesting for me. And because the Lord has called me to the realm of sisterhood and friendship to go get his daughters and show them how to do that for real in a healthy way, it's been real interesting. And I just been like, Lord, I just want people that's gonna be there. Like, answer the phone. Like, what's happening, right? And so sitting in this literal castle with people that have, some know me, some have met me for the first time that weekend. And to know that they trusted God enough and trusted Tiffany enough to say, hey, we are going to do this. And y'all, let's just be honest. They didn't go cheap on the gifts. I got some Nike stuff. I got some name brand stuff. And I was like, oh, this stuff, okay, right? So it's one of those type of things. Because, sometimes when your leader tell you something, you just buying whatever, right? You just doing whatever. It wasn't that type of thing. And so I really felt the love of God more than anything else with this interaction, because I was like, oh God, you're not just, like Anna said, he's not just answering the baby prayer, right? Because sometimes we can get so stuck on the one thing that we want that we don't recognize that the Lord is doing like a whole world of things outside of that. And so it really did heal my heart in areas of sisterhood and friendship. Like, oh God, you do got people that's actually go be for me, right? You do got people that actually love me for me. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to show up anywhere. They just like me for me, right? It's just one of those type of things where, especially when you start going through stuff, sometimes you don't know. Because I was just like, okay, it is what it is. Like, whatever. And so, being in this baby shower, in this faith-filled baby shower, not only did the Lord, answer some unanswered prayers, because I was like, Lord, is you gonna do it or not? Like, what? I was at the point like, God, what are we doing? Like, yes or no? That's all I need to know. Yes or no. So it was one of those things, but it was also like God, like one of the characteristics of God is him being Elroy, the God who sees. And so when God see you, but you in the middle and everybody is looking at you, it's kind of overwhelming a little bit, a little bit overwhelming. And so that's why my hand was on my face the whole time, because I was like, I know you lying.
But remember, the Lord had me ask you how old your oldest baby was.
Mm-hmm.
And you said he was how old?
14, about to be 15.
And then I asked you, Jerry, how long had you been married? And you said
14 years. 2012, 12 plus 24. Yes, 14 years.
yeah. I thought that was unique too. And the
Yes.
Lord, 14, like so you've been waiting for 14 years
Yes, I am.
for Kingston. You know what I'm saying? And so the Lord has allowed you to see her beginning.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna walk through her, because one of the reason the prophetic act was to get the car seats, to just usher you to a new level of faith, to believe God that you were coming home with your baby. You know what I mean? And so like both of you all had to just see, like he just gave you a glimpse of like, if you just wait on me,
Yes.
just keep working on yourself, walking this thing out with me, just believe in me, keep talking to me. I know doubt comes up, but still casting out, help my unbelief, my unbelief,
Yes.
my unbelief, because that's the enemy. He wants to rob you of the testimony.
Yes, he does.
Because just think about, even with you sharing pictures and stuff with us, I'm like, now the enemy was trying to keep her in hiding. Now this boy said, I'm the one that's in charge of
Okay.
hiding. You know what I'm
Like,
saying?
I'm hiding. Like,
You
what
know
are we
I'm
doing?
like? But
yeah.
but even in all of that, it's just like God uses everything, and the fact that He's just igniting everybody's testimonies, everybody's just their fire to
Yeah.
really go after Him with everything in them. Like, I don't know what to say. Like, I'm just like, Lord, is there another realm of vocabulary you can give me? Because
Yeah.
I can keep saying the same word over and over again. Because I'm like, how could people not trust God?
Yeah.
How could people not believe God? And if I have to be the example of what God can do with walking out things before you, then so be it.
Yeah.
I've submitted to that. I've
Yeah.
answered to that. I
Yeah.
said yes to that. Not knowing, because even like before you made the decision on the Lord releasing you in an honorable way from the traditional setting
Oh,
of
yeah,
the
yeah,
church,
yeah. Uh-huh.
He let me walk through that before her.
Yeah.
So even with the delay of me not contacting her within the year, maybe God was intentional about me having to go
Yeah.
through something. So when the time was right, you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? And then even prolonging that year, because she needed to say, did you need a photographer? I needed to be at Timeless, so she can hear that. And so all of that, it all works together.
All of it. So, and it just reminded me that nothing is wasted. Because I tell people all the time, I don't wish this journey on not one person, not my worst enemy. Nothing. And I also understand that the Lord has had me on this journey for my own good, right? Because sometimes we don't want to be honest about that. Like, we wasn't ready. Like I told you before, me and my husband was absolutely insane. We were toxic and dysfunctional, and we needed to grow up. And so even though it has taken us 14 years to be in a position to where if we had a baby now, we would actually be okay, I can't always say that. I tell people all the time, if I would have got pregnant 10 years ago, my baby would be in therapy. For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. And I have always been honest with God. That's not what I want. I see some women in my family. I see other women around me, and I'm like, yeah, that's cool for y'all, but I don't want that life for me, for my husband, for my children. And so the Lord had to take me through stuff. Now, do I wish it was infertility? Absolutely not.
Yeah.
I don't. And I understand that the Lord is faithful and that He's sovereign and that He knows what's best, because I can honestly say that my prayer life wouldn't be what it is without this journey. I learned how to pray for real because I Like, God, you're going to have to help me with this. You're going to have to make it make sense. You're going to have to help me understand why I have to be in this type of situation. And so my prayer life is what it is because the Lord allowed me to be on this journey. And so, yeah, back to the baby shower. I was undone. Okay. Tiffany Favors. Absolutely undone because
At this point, God don't, it's like, how can you keep up with what he does? You know what I mean?
you can't. But I was undone because I was like, number one, oh God, you see me. It's like, oh, I'm not hiding that well. Okay, great. And then, oh, you got people that actually care. Because some people can say they care, but their actions don't really line up with that. And so to know that God loved me so much that he would create, because I always say when I'm ministering or whatever, God will create whole atmospheres to come see about his children. And I was like, well, God, I knew you was going to create an atmosphere to come see about your children during the weekend. I just didn't know that you was going to do that for this child, right? I did not know that he was going to do all that, but I am so grateful because it literally has changed my life.
Mine too.
Literally.
To think that the only thing that God called you to was to take photos. I know that you know what I mean? But like, I remember there was a season where the Lord he's always shifting something. But he was like, that's not the only thing that I called you to do.
Yeah.
I'm going to use everything to show you that I hear you, that I see you, that I'm responding to you. And I am speaking to other people about you. Like people who literally pay attention to details of what you say, how you say it, when you move, and all of those different things. I think I told y'all a story. I told you a story the other day how when I was walking and this lady, where I normally walk, I park my car, and this lady was in the spot that I normally park, but it was obvious she was homeless, living in her car or something, because the car was beyond hoarder. And I had to walk past to get to the sidewalk, and I locked eyes with her. But on my way back, I heard the Lord say, "Sow into her." So I'm like, "Okay, I gotta sow into her. What you want me to sow into her?" I saw 50, but my spirit was telling me 20. And I was just like, I could do this $20, and I heard 50. So while I was walking, I saw her part back up out of the thing, and I was like, "Lord, she's leaving. What you want me to chase after her car?" I'm almost close to my car, but what you want me to do? And so I stopped looking at the car as she was when she pulled off, and I was just walking. And so as soon as I walked back into the parking lot, she parked right back into the space. So it's like she did a whole circle around the thing. So she was already sitting there 20-30 minutes, because it took me 30 minutes to walk, right? I get in the car, and my husband had just gave me money to put in the bank to pay bills. I counted it, and it was $400. So it was $40 of my tithes, and I had $10. So that's your 50. So I said, "Lord, I'll give her the 50 tithes and offering." So I walk up to her car, and and I said, "Hey, ma'am, how are you?" And she was, well, I said, "I want to sow this into you." And she was like, "No, thank you. Give it to somebody else." I said, "Okay. Are you sure?" And she was like, she started her car up and she rolled her window up in my face. So I said, "Okay."
Oh, wow.
I said, "All right, Lord, I obeyed you, did whatever." Got to the assisted living to do work over there. And when I got in there, not even an hour later, somebody was texting me saying that they were in need for gas and could I loan them $40. And it was the tithes, so the Lord gave me my $10, See, I had to be obedient. But she showed me two different things: pride and humility.
Yes.
It was two different forms. And even when I told the young lady, "You don't have to pay me back," because I kind of give her a glimpse of the story. "You don't owe me. I don't know what you've been around in your life, but you don't have to feel like you got to work for a friendship. You have to work through trying to pay me back. Don't put me on your 2-week pay scale." You feel what I'm saying? This was a seed. This is my tithe. This is that. And she said, "I'm sorry that it took me so long to reach out," because in your mind, the enemy will make you feel like you're a burden. They ain't got nothing to do with you. I have nothing to do with what God has given somebody else the release to do for me.
Ooh.
Stop asking people how much their services are when the Lord has already told them to work it out. You don't know what instructions the Lord gave them to them. You in your mind just like, I don't have enough money to afford this. That has nothing to do with us.
Shatina, who that sound like? You just now asking me to do stuff for you. I just want you to know. But I love you.
Oh,
But I love you. Okay.
But even in things like that, the Lord has put a burden on me that if there are people in our lives that He is given assignment to obey, that there's when the Lord sends some type of increase or overflow, I still sow in whatever capacity that I can. But even in that, had I always saw myself behind the mic just doing praise and worship, I would have never tapped into the prophetic. I would have never tapped into the fact that, now the Lord is calling me into other places. We're baptized 11 people on the mountain.
At a retreat.
5 people received the Holy Ghost with the evidence of speaking in tongues. Like, there's more outside of there for you. This is a part of the gift that's making room for you. But that room is turning to rooms.
Yeah, it's so much
many
more.
rooms.
It's so much more.
And so don't think that your obedience will overlap somebody else's. Like, just when you going forward, God got somebody else. You know what I'm saying? I was just like, I don't know what people do now.
That sounds all good and stuff. I didn't know what was happening. I was just like, now wait a minute.
So that's why. So the Lord used an unexpected thing to happen in real life and living color. And that's a day that you will forever have marked in your mind, in your heart, your spirit, and your soul. So whenever you find yourself in a tsunami, in a dark place, in a cave, in a maze, you go back to that part.
Yeah.
Go back to the mountain on March the 8th and at whatever time, and say, you know what? The Lord remember me then. He gonna remember me now.
Exactly. That's why I say it changed my life forever, because I know what state I was in. I know what was in the back of my mind. I know all of those things. And so for the Lord to be like, no, I got you too. I was just like, oh.
Anna, how did your husband receive it? I can only imagine the shift that happened in your home.
Yes, the shift in my home has been, when I say the prayers of the righteous,
availeth much.
For my husband, soon as I left the mountain, he was actually at work. I said, come outside. I was like, I got something to show you. So he was like, what is this? He's like, Anna, you went and bought all this stuff? And I said, no. I said, Tiffany, she made them do me a baby shower and I was just ugly crying. And why would she do me like that? And he...
why would I do you like that?
He was like, come here, girl, you being a brat. Because I get like that when I get overwhelmed. When people, God told me at the beginning of the shit. When people love me right.
When they love you
it does something. It's healing to me. You don't understand. It's a deep healing and cleansing that happens every time it happens, because I'm telling you, like with my life and my story, I've not always experienced love. I've always experienced perversion. So to know what real, authentic God's love working through people, it does something to me. And my husband, that moment, he knew. He just hugged me because he knew. He was like, "Oh, come here, babe. Like, just come here." And he was very excited about it. And like 2 weeks afterwards, we actually kind of went through the stuff. We did what we were supposed to do. We went through the things. And so he done put the car seat in the car.
Woo!
Okay. He put it in his car.
All right.
He said, we're just going to get you another one because I need one in my vehicle and you need one in yours.
Wow.
He done bought him a baby bag.
Oh, wow.
That's masculine.
Come on now. Now I'm going to tell my brother-in-law here for the dads to have baby showers for the men.
Yeah, because he is very excited. Like, your obedience to God concerning me shifted my household, because even my son is more excited about having a baby brother, because he was there when I went through the trauma and the crying and in the hospital visits and stuff. So now he has confidence of being a big brother.
Yeah.
So when we go out, Mom, I'm gonna get this, get this. So I've been buying stuff that says little brother and things like that. So, it has healed my whole family.
Yes.
It has brought my family together. My family, we trust God together again.
Yes.
Because sometimes as wives, it's your faith that sustains the household.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like the fact that all of us are in one accord, just because y'all chose to obey God concerning me by just loving me. So it shifted it changed my life forever. And when I have moments where I go in those spaces where I feel unloved, I think about the retreat. I think about y'all. And before you got here, Tiffany, I said, I miss y'all. I ain't seen y'all in 6 months. And it ain't been but a month since we was on the retreat.
It's been a month.
Said it don't feel like that, but that's how you know you was in a genuine spot that it can't be replicated. Because I said, I miss y'all so much. I said, it ain't got nothing to do with my pregnancy hormones. It's like I just miss those atmospheres, and I'm just like, God, why all atmospheres can't be like this? Why the local church can't be like this? Why we gotta go build outside the church because y'all just refuse to love people correctly? If you love people correctly, the church wouldn't be doing what it's doing right now.
Exactly.
That's just how I feel. The church lacks love.
It's the truth.
Like,
it's the truth.
You just lacks love, because if you love people right and you heal and you experience the love of God, then it wouldn't be that mess in the pulpit. It wouldn't be the manipulation. It wouldn't be all the stuff that's going on. If you just love people right.
But see, the thing is, the leaders that are leading don't know how to love themselves.
They don't.
This is true.
So they just what Bible says, you have a form of godliness, but you're denying the power within.
Yes.
And so they know how to show up. They know how to scream in the mic. They know how to testify, and they know how to do all these different things, but they do not know how to dwell in the house of the Lord. One of the things that I just been really praying, because I'm like, Lord, the word church just make me
Give
you
you an
but I
ick.
just keep saying it's the body, it's the and we are the church. But I've been asking the Lord to kind of shift that for me, give me another name or another word to actually talk about your presence. And one of the words that's why we use the gathering a lot. That's why we use fellowship a lot.
Right.
And I'm beginning to use words like the dwelling place. Like,
Ooh.
Lord, you can dwell here.
That's good, though.
So because when you say church, you scare people off.
Yeah, they're triggered.
Yeah.
Very triggered. And so I'm just like, Lord, I don't want that. And we had a young lady, she got invited to church, and she was like, I gotta ask, I'm like, I ain't nobody pastor, but I gotta ask, what my gathering, my group of people, my community, what we're gonna do before I commit to anything. But just to think that everybody sees themselves as a part of something.
Yeah.
Even when I think about Olivia and just everybody, that I feel like I belong somewhere, and that is my thing. The Lord has really been on me, because, one of the charges the Lord has given me is to be to people what other people wasn't for me. And so the thing is, the Lord is beginning to send us to us.
Yes, for real.
He's sending us
Jeez.
me's.
Can I be honest, though?
What?
When you started showing up for me, I was like, this is weird. I was like, because remember what I had just gotten out of.
Yeah.
And I was just like.
But see, the thing with that is, for me, I'm so grateful that this is how God shows up. Because when I went through my season, one of the things I said, Lord, please don't leave me by myself like this.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how this healing from this church hurt and all this kind of stuff. And so when the Lord began to, he released me to just sit somewhere so I can eat.
Yeah.
So I can be fed. And he said, just let me heal you. And so what I had to do was just rest in that, rest in the fact that God was going to send what I needed. And so in that time, the Lord, he I love the Lord so much that he didn't let you sit in your pain.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
He let somebody else who was not sad, in anger, because even the Lord has that Shatina know he didn't call me to do some hard things in that season with returning into places that I was like, Lord, you called me out of this. But he said, I need to make an example out of you.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm going to show others how to love properly. And so the thing is, you should never have to be in a space to understand.
Yeah.
To understand, to know what compassion feels like, what it looks like for empathy and just being
Yeah.
sympathetic, all those things.
Yeah.
You should not have to experience your own death to understand where somebody is low at.
Yeah.
And so those are the things that I'm just like, okay, Lord, I thank you, Lord, that you love Jerry enough that you heal me quickly.
Yeah.
He didn't let me just, okay, I need to go to therapy. I need to do it. No, he started changing my perspective about everybody that I deal with.
Yeah.
He started saying it's nothing personal. It's seasonal,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So because it's seasonal, your perspective changes because there are things that I'm going to allow you to do undercover. There are things that I'm going to use you for. And that's just that. And so when you say I say yes, and I'm doing this unto the glory of the God, the way God chooses to use a situation has nothing to do with you.
Sure don't.
It really don't. And I think that this current season that I'm in, leading up to the live event and everything that's going on with that, I'm able to walk all this stuff out with grace because of that, right? Because I have examples of people that did it right, right? I have examples of people that don't be crashing out, don't be doing all the crazy stuff. And so I think I'm just in a season. I'm like, okay, of course, this is my season of radical obedience to the Lord because I gave God a yes. So whatever that looks like, right? And also I do understand that the people that I surround myself with is so important because of what I'm walking into.
Yes.
Even though I know that I don't fully know what I'm walking into and I won't fully know until I get there because that's how the Lord deals with me sometimes. But I also know that it's so important that God is like, okay, I'm finna do something really crazy and you're not gonna know what it is, but you're gonna be okay. So it's one of those things. But yeah, so when you started showing up for me, just not even on like business and ministry stuff, but like you'll call me, just be like, what you doing? I'd be like, why is she calling me? What she want? Does she need something with her website? Like, what's happening? And because I called you yesterday, you was like, I was just thinking about you, but why?
Because I think about all of y'all every single day. I'm thinking about even while we're preparing for the women's brunch. I'm like, Lord, you know what? I know we dealt with the molestation, the bloodlines, and all this kind of stuff. But I want this brunch to be different because I just want to talk about life.
Yeah.
I want to talk about how challenging it is for you to show up even for yourself every day, let alone if you got people and responsibilities and these roles and these titles. I want to know how their heart is. I want to know, I want you to know that somebody is thinking of you. You know what I mean? Because, it catches me off guard when people do stuff for me, because I'll be like, Dad, for real, because I'm just like, just so used to, I just want to be present in everything.
Yeah.
And I don't look for nothing in return, because I understand scripture that says, seek ye first
The
kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto. Because I obey God when he said it's not the building you need and the community that you need, he began to add unto me friendships, sisterhood, peace. He gave me more of a sober mind. I understand what obedience and walking things out, whether I have to be by myself to crank the engine or not, and then other people's gonna come. He's allowing me to do some hard things by myself first.
Yes.
Seeking him first don't look like just money. I know anything that I have, whatever's in my hands, whatever's in my possession, this facility nothing belongs to me.
And
don't even belong to me.
exactly, right? But I think that for us, it's weird because we do this for other people, but we don't always get it reciprocated, right? And so to have you to reciprocate what we be giving out to other people, it's just like, oh, that's what that feels like. Okay, cool. But yeah, so when you just started checking on me just to check on me, and it didn't have nothing to do with your website, nothing to do with your podcast, I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because, for a long time, I wouldn't call us friends. Like, when we first started, we were friends, but I was, it was trauma,
It's
Let's
okay.
just,
But
what
that's
it
why
is.
the Lord told me through that season. Shatina, no, I'll use the same thing over and over again. He said, stop rejecting the replacements.
Yeah.
And I'm replacing everything and everybody that rejected you. There was a season when my eyes was so blurry and blinded by all the help and the love that God was sending my way, but I was rejecting it because I wanted it from the people who were supposed to give it to
Yeah.
me. I wasn't looking at the people that really wanted to be that for me in a season, because that's not your job. That's not your responsibility to care for my children or say I'll babysit your children, or you feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's not your job. That's their job. But the Lord said, if you don't get over that, because
Yeah.
he said when the mama and the daddy forsake you, he said I will take you up. He talked
did.
about pray for those who's right, and it ain't just got nothing to do with family. It's just people in
general, yeah.
general. Because he's always going to send a fatherly figure, a motherly figure, a sister, a brother. You know, I don't know how many of y'all children call me auntie.
Yeah. Tyler sure call you
You know
auntie.
what I'm saying? Like, and so once our perspective changed, I like how therapists. I listened to a devotion she did the other day, and she said, Lord, she asked the Lord every day, anoint my perspective.
That's good.
It's good.
That's really good.
Anoint my perspective.
It's
Yeah,
good.
So
that's
when you have a clear vision, and when your perspective is well, you won't see nothing as a threat
Yes.
Yeah.
at all. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you'll see it as this is the season God has me in.
Yeah.
This is the journey I have to walk. If I have to detour, it is well with my soul.
Mm-hmm.
And that's that. And sometimes you don't have to. I don't have the language to how God built me.
Yeah.
I just know what God does works.
Yes.
So it's not even like, you got it like that. You know
No.
you got you.
No,
you
I
got
just
that
trust the
strength.
Lord.
That's just that.
Yeah.
And sometimes, I have to humble myself, because I be like, Lord, I just don't understand why they just don't believe you.
Yeah.
It can work, but when you read scripture, and when I actually see how Jesus conquered so many things, that's why I just fix my eyes on him. If he won, I can win too.
Yes. Amen.
Absolutely.
That's it. And he's not even calling me to do anything hard, because he did the hardest thing.
He died.
Yeah. He's just calling us to show up and obey.
You know.
That's the formula, to show up and obey in whatever it is that he's called us to, whether it's friendship, whether it's business, whether it's ministry. And so your obedience is something to be talked about.
It
Tiffany
is.
Favors.
Oh,
You.
Lord.
Yes, like you, girl. Let me tell you something. I'll tell the whole world, hell, heaven, or whoever. I do not play about Tiffany,
Oh, Lord.
Listen.
and God don't play about you. And I always endorse who God does. So, you are my friend. You are my sister. And there's a lot of people that I call sisters and friends, but I don't endorse what they do.
Exactly.
So these retreats and things that On Your Truth Ministry is doing, y'all need to be a part of it. And I'm not just saying it because she's my sister. Even if I'm not a part of the being a speaker for next year, I'm gonna be there
Oh, we showing up
regardless because
Regardless.
God is there.
Yeah.
It ain't got nothing to do with her. It's the fact that who lives in her and that operates through her. And I think that's the perspective that we need to go, so we can stop having these false expectations on people. We need to be
Absolutely.
judging people by their fruit. You know, the Bible says, know them that labor among you. And if they don't labor with him, why are you laboring with them?
That's a good
And
question.
she labors. Like, I know the fruit. I've seen Tiffany, when Tiffany wouldn't believe that she was called by God. I remember the first time I said, Tiffany, you know you're a prophet. She was like, at the time my name was Raven. She said, girl, what is you talking about?
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, she said, what's a prophet? Like, she was just like, but to see her grow, like, you just don't even understand from a perspective of seeing someone where they're in a place, just like, you know how the world was void. It had no form, it had nothing. But then when God breathed and spoke life, and that's why I ride for Tiffany like I do, because I know from the Genesis. Like, I know where she was when I met her, and I know where I was. So it's just like those type of relationships, y'all. I think, and you let me know how y'all feel about this. I think we're in a society that we don't war over relationships like that.
don't.
Like, when little stuff happen, we just let the small foxes destroy the vine of relationships. See, these type of relationships that I have, I fight for them. If I'm in a fence and I did something, I'm gonna forgive, because I know the value of my relationship.
Yeah.
So with me, like I said, me being a fence, y'all, I really was in a fence. Like, I'm very comical, but I really was. But it wasn't them. It was my demons.
Yeah.
It was the stuff that I was wrestling with. And I'm like, you sis, I was like, dope, but those people supposed to love me. My mama's supposed to love me. My family's supposed to throw me a baby shower. Like, instead of me enjoying the moment, rejection got me going all out. When God just literally obliterated rejection in my face.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm still going back, you know, in my mind. So I just really feel like we need to learn how to war over God ordained relationships instead of just letting
Well,
them
first
go.
we gotta recognize what's a God ordained relationship.
Yeah,
because
that's
some
true.
of us are in covenant and in relationship that God did not ordain.
That's true.
And so we, number one, we gotta recognize, is this a God ordained relationship? If it's no, I'm gonna you might
Yeah.
need to cut that off.
That's true.
If the answer is yes, then you absolutely should war for that, because there is a war against friendship and sisterhood.
It is.
The Lord has been dealing with me with that. And so a lot of the stuff that I'm experiencing now makes so much sense to
Yeah.
me. I don't like it, but it makes sense nonetheless. And so when it comes to friendship and sisterhood, you can't just let all that go all the time. Have the hard conversations.
Yes.
Now, you can't force people to do right, okay? You can't. That's called manipulation and witchcraft, and we don't do that over here.
And don't.
Okay? We do not do that. But you can absolutely fight for the relationships that are God ordained.
Absolutely.
Because the enemy is coming for them. The enemy does not want you and your sisters to be tight. He don't want that.
don't.
He does not want that, because he know that if y'all tight, y'all can do some damage to hell, right?
Yes. Oh
The
my
enemy knows that if, as it relates to sisterhood, if we get together, it's gonna be a problem for hell. And he don't want that. And so of course he's gonna try to bring up offense. He's gonna try to bring up contention, comparison. So I had to deal with that, because
competitiveness.
so
all
let's
of
just
that.
talk about it. And so let's just talk about comparison, right? And so I'm great. I know that I'm great. But these women, I was just like, God, this is a lot. What am I doing here? Why do you have me here, Lord? And I knew it was the Lord that had me here, just because the way things, like, the only reason I was like, had an intimate thing with the retreat is because I was building Tiffany's website. She wanted to sell the tickets and all that. And then she put me on a flyer, and I'm like, well, why am I on a flyer though? Like, what am I doing, Lord? I was really confused, by the way. I was like, I don't know what's happening, but okay, Lord, clearly I know Tiffany hears from you, so I'm okay. I'm safe. Okay, whatever. And so then the Lord tells me, take my camera. And I'm like, okay. Taking my camera. But then after the retreat, we got a whole group chat. I was like, how am I in a group chat with 10 people? I don't understand what is happening with my life, Lord. Like, the retreat was cool. You did a lot, Lord, and I thank you, because I needed that. But I didn't know that I was gaining like 9 sisters afterwards. I was like, this don't really happen in my life like that. So I don't know what to do. And then, you know, it's prayer in the group chat, it's laughter in the group chat, Anna be talking about her baby in the group chat. It just be a whole bunch of random stuff in this group chat. And I'm just like, why am I here? What is
Because you safe, sis.
Shatina, you say you too? Listen.
Yeah, I had a conversation with Tia about this because
What?
I feel out of place too.
Man, listen. Listen. And so for me, I personally feel out of place because I am still learning. I am still like walking in my God-given authority and all the things. I'm like, but they prophets and apostles and all the things, and what is happening? And so periodically I have to be like, no, you belong in this place because God says so. So I be having to talk to myself a little bit and not be looking at what y'all got going on, because y'all got a lot going on. Y'all be doing a lot, and so the Lord was like, no, I told you where you are. I'm giving you a snapshot of where you are going. I was like, okay, Lord. Let's do this. And so yes, I know you have to go. Tiffany favorites.
I'm delegating assignments now.
You delegating?
Not delegating
Okay,
assignments.
delegation.
Just,
I love
you
it.
know,
Come
th-
on,
that's just,
apostolic
just
grace.
delegating assignments.
You that apostolic
I'll
grace.
take care of it when I get there.
Yeah,
And,
but-
just go
But
sit.
we got to kill comparison.
We do.
We have to kill jealousy, because that's the thing.
Yeah.
Because comparison can even easily morph into jealousy when it's unhealthy. When you are looking so much at the other person and you want that person's life. Number one, you don't know what they've been through.
Don't.
Okay. So I'm just saying, you don't. That's why when people tell me that me and my husband, our relationship goes, I'm like, listen,
All right.
don't
now.
make us your relationship goes. We just started liking each other like 5 years ago, and we've been married for 14. There's
and this one thing, when after you've been married for a while, the maturity sets in.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah.
you begin to do it God's way.
Yeah.
yes.
You know what I mean? Because when we started, you're supposed to start with God.
Yeah.
But
But
however,
let's
don't
just
always
be
look
honest,
like
that is
that.
not always the
You
case.
know,
Okay, that was not my
That's
case.
a whole nother podcast that
Listen.
we're gonna have to do with that marriage stuff for
yeah,
real.
So
Listen.
you know, so we still honor what God allowed. You know.
Yes.
And so in the process of that, people, you know, I just made a post the other day. People don't know the cost of the oil.
They
They
don't.
don't.
They don't.
They want it, you know. I mean, I hear, do you have a job? Yes, I work. I leave out my house and I work. I come to work at the salon. I work at the facility. You know, I'm working every day.
Doing something.
Yesterday, the burden the Lord has placed on me this week, and then He was like, "You have to do an event, you know, on the 1st." I mean, like, Lord, you said April I was supposed to rest, so maybe
Not May 1st.
the rest is me actually hearing from Him, you know, so I could be still enough to hear. But He said the charge, and I was like, the charge, and then I sent it. Then Shatina, I'm just like, I guess He's speaking to all of us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
And so-
it's so necessary. When you told me like the premise of the event, I was like, we need this.
Yeah.
Because there are so many people, there are so many women in ministry that don't know what to do. They don't know how to do it right. They don't understand the weight and the cost of it. And so it's definitely needed a space where people that are in ministry have a place where, hey, this is how this is supposed to go. This is how you're supposed to live your life. This is how you're supposed to plan, or whatever it is that the Lord has you do. So it's definitely
It is.
it's necessary for what God is doing. It is.
Well, that's what obedience looks like, ladies.
That's what it looks like.
It
That's
sure
radical
does.
obedience.
Yeah.
That is radical obedience. So Tiffany favorites, I know that you have to go.
Yeah.
You got other hats to put on today.
I wear hats, guys.
Yeah, you wear a lot of hats.
How much more y'all gonna talk?
I don't know what we're gonna talk about.
Okay.
Cause you know, me and Anna, we got our own thing going
I
on.
feel like I'm gonna miss out on something. No.
this
but
video is
no.
going to be posted on your channel. You're not gonna miss out.
I know, but still.
You're gonna have to go back and watch it.
Yeah, I am.
Yes.
But so can I do my ending closing then, and then y'all finish?
Yes.
Okay. Well, Anna, I love you, and I know this is the first of many more to come, and so I'm just thankful that the Lord has us on a new schedule. So we may be coming back with 2 episodes a month versus 4 episodes because the Lord has us in a very speedy season. And so
Amen.
everything we do, we must do with wisdom. And so, but one of the things the Lord has been on me about is consistency, and discipline. And so, we can always make time to speak to the people, talk to the people, and share what the Lord is doing because of one person's obedience, it'll just launch somebody else into this and that and that and that. And so that's we still got to go forward because somebody else may be thinking about doing a podcast, right, Jared?
Yes.
Okay, so make
And
sure
if you are thinking about doing a podcast, you can go to halocreativemedia.com and schedule a consultation. Because I do podcast production, not just for me, not just for Tiffany, but for other people. They pay me to do that. And so yes, if you are looking for podcast production, if you want to start your YouTube channel, holla at your girl. Yes.
and we have the space available too.
Yes.
Real quick, when is this episode gonna air?
Next week.
Okay, so listen, we have the charge that's coming up on May 1st. This is specifically for women in ministry. If you know that God has called you to pass out the tissue, to lay down, throw the little flyaway things
If
down.
you are
when they
an altar worker,
there you go.
Yes.
You praying for people, you doing events and counseling, whatever ministry role you hold in the church, this is for you. The Lord is really on us about coming after the spirit of lust, modesty. We got to be more accountable. It ain't about me wanting to be in your business. It's God that wants to be in your business. And you just need to really get to a place where your yes, he's after your real yes. We give him a yes every day, but he's after your real yes. And so that's that for 30 people. And then we have May 9th, women's brunch, which we are really excited to be a part of. Then we have a pop-up May 16th. More information will come from that. And then the retreat for the recovery
2027.
room 2027. The Lord is allowing us to prepare for that. And the theme of that is going to be under construction, the demolition. So can you just imagine what that's going to look like, coming soon. Okay.
Yes.
So, God is doing a whole lot of things in this season, but I truly love you all. Thank you guys for tuning into this episode of On Your Truth. Peace, deuces, bye. I love y'all.